CBS officially fixes. It's Tony DiNozzo mistake. With Michael Weatherly's NCIS return, CBS is finally giving NCIS fans what they want to see by returning Michael Weatherly to the flagship series as Tony DiNozzo, which redeems the developments in his own spin-off, NCIS, Tony and Ziva. Tony was one of the leading characters in the main series from NCIS seasons 1 through 13, until he exited the series in the season finale. Despite his goofy antics, or perhaps because of them, Tony became one of the most beloved characters on the flagship series, in part due to his slow-burn romance with Ziva David, Cote de Pablo. In 2025, the NCIS franchise returned both characters in their own spin-off to continue their story. However, NCIS, Tony and Ziva set a disheartening franchise record. After CBS announced the series in 2024, NCIS, Tony and Ziva launched in 2025. The spin-off had a few surprising qualities, though, setting it apart from its counterparts. Making history for the franchise, NCIS, Tony and Ziva was the first series to premiere on Paramount Plus, rather than CBS, marking a significant departure from what audiences were used to. The series also departed from NCIS's formula, shifting its focus from the Naval Criminal Investigative Service to foreign investigative bodies and Tony and Ziva's life abroad, with the couple going on the run after being framed for a worldwide cyber attack and for stealing Interpol funds. That said, aside from the most iconic NCIS characters, NCIS Tony and Ziva is unrecognizable. Many longtime NCIS viewers enjoyed the series, and it received positive reviews from fans and critics. NCIS, Tony and Ziva garnered an 82% score on Rotten Tomatoes from both audiences and reviewers. Still, it was canceled after just one season, with low viewership, high production costs, and criticism of creative changes all contributing, suggesting its format didn't work. If Tony and Ziva's spin-off had been released on network television, where audiences were used to seeing the characters, it may have attracted better viewership. The franchise released the series on streaming due to its heavily serialized international storyline and more mature plots. However, the franchise has leaned into more serialized storytelling on broadcast in NCIS Origins and NCIS Sydney. Perhaps a better option for Tony and Ziva's comeback would have been to return the characters to the flagship, where they have years of history, in NCIS Season 23. The characters in the original show admire both Tony and Ziva, and their deep-seated connections to NCIS give the series numerous ways to draw them back into the story. Some fans were outspoken about their preference for seeing Tony and Ziva return to NCIS, rather than have their story play out abroad. While NCIS Tony and Ziva delivered on some of the things fans wanted to see, such as romantic moments unfolding between the couple on screen, it was isolated from the NCIS verse in both narrative and format. That said, it's a positive change of pace that Weatherly will be returning to the flagship for a full season arc in NCIS Season 24. CBS has given NCIS a full season order of 20 episodes for Season 24. Therefore, Weatherly's commitment will likely give him an even more robust comeback than NCIS Tony and Ziva, and his story is more meaningful. Two of Tony's most beloved colleagues, Timothy McGee, Sean Murray, and Dr. Jimmy Palmer, Brian Dietzen, are still bustling through the NCIS bullpen, remaining regular cast members for over 2 decades. Therefore, Tony's flagship appearance can weave into past stories and make fans nostalgic, whereas DiNozzo's return in his own spin-off was somewhat of an island. Therefore, Weatherly's return to NCIS is a bit of a redemption story, giving some fans what they always wanted to see, and others a silver lining to NCIS, Tony and Ziva's cancellation. While there's no word yet on whether De Pablo will return as Ziva, the way the characters are intertwined makes her appearance in some form fairly likely.